My name's Ellen Ferris and I've lived on the Exmouth estate for nearly 40 years. When we first moved on the estate, our block had just been finished and the first block was only about 18 months old. I got involved with the Residents Association when my first boy was about 2, and I did it because I like to organise things, basically. I like to organise events, which we do, in the form of fun days, day trips, that type of thing. We do mellors, and basically it's a way of getting all the neighbours together because, you know, let's face it, in blocks of flats, you know, it might be months before you see your neighbour, but they all like to come out for a good day, you know, sort of barbecuing and things like that. So, yeah, I enjoy being on the Residents Board. It gives me an outlet.
My name's George Ferris. I've lived on the Exmouth estate roughly nearly 40 years. I first originally moved into Cornwall Drive. Both my boys, well, I've got 2 children, have grown up. They were born on the Exmouth estate, and I've still got one son that lives with me. He's going to get married this year. But other than that, I've lived here most of my married life, me and my wife.
Hello, my name's Marie Larvin. I live on the Exmouth estate in what I think is probably the brightest flat in the estate, that one up there with the lime green walls and the yellow walls and the orange lights. And I've lived on the estate for just over 7 years. And it was in 2004 that when I was on holiday in Tunisia, that I thought, wouldn't it be great to have a community barbecue? And from that summer, you probably see me when there's a barbecue, getting a bit hot and bothered by the sausages and doing that. The other time of the year you'll see me is at Christmas, when the church that I'm part of is involved in the Christmas events, the carols, and I'm usually trying to rope people into singing 12 Days of Christmas, and I love living here.
Hello, I'm Fabian Thompson. I don't actually live on the estate, but I do live locally, and I've known Chris Kilby for a number of years, and I was very excited about the computer project which he developed on this estate, because it's using open source software, and I think he's really made some important innovations, and that's what attracted me to be involved in the website. And this led me to get involved in researching the history of the Exmouth estate, and it really is fascinating. It goes back to the Peasants' Revolt. Isaac Rosenberg, one of the war poets, he lived on the site where this estate is now.
I'm Terry Lyle. I've been living on the Exmouth estate since 1989, but I've been living in Tower Hamlets for quite a lot longer than that, since 1966 in fact. And I retired from work 6 years ago, 2005, but for the last 22 years of my career I worked for a local charity called the Environment Trust, and I was their education officer, and that actually had me doing a great deal of work with people in community gardens, people in schools who wanted to make a pond or a woodland or a flower border, vegetable beds. Since I retired, I've actually continued to be as busy as ever, but more enjoyably free of some of the usual constraints of work, filling in forms for the boss and all that sort of thing, and meeting silly targets or pretending to. What I actually spend a lot of my days doing now is, some people will know Tower Hamlets Cemetery Park at Mile End, not far from the tube station. It's an old closed cemetery with ponds, meadows, woodlands, and I'm part of the group that runs it, which is the Friends of the Cemetery Park. We run it on behalf of Tower Hamlets Council, and it's the 3rd largest park in the borough after Victoria Park and Mile End Park, so it's actually quite a major commitment. I do love being outdoors all the time, and among the birds and the butterflies and the plants and the people.
Hello, my name is Anna Hearn and I live on the Exmouth estate. We're sitting in my back patio at the moment. Unfortunately, it's not the right time of year to get the best show of plants, but gardening is a thing for me and I enjoy it very much. You can see all my gear behind, just waiting for the weather to change and I'll be off. Unfortunately, it's the shady part here in the back, so I'm a bit limited to the plants, you know, that would be nice and showy, and but I do get a good show from fuchsias and begonias. I've got the camellia about to burst into bloom, and I also have an allotment close to the estate, which is very, very fortunate, and spend a lot of time on that during the season.